Hi everybody, Dacob here. Welcome back to the Fragrant Bunker. Today we're going to review Chanel's newest male release, Allure Homme Sport Superleggera. For all of the people in the back who mispronounce this one, let me repeat it for you. Superleggera. Not something else I've been hearing a lot about from certain reviewers online, okay? It's Superleggera. It's an Italian brand, actually. So there you go. Now, let's spray it on. I do have it a little bit all over the place. I've been wearing it for a while, and here's the packaging. But so I do have the dry down in several parts. This is an interesting. Let's freshen it up here, and then we're gonna do the dry down here. So, okay, citrusy, zesty, aldehydic opening, slightly reminiscent of Allure Homme, the OG, with that kind of brown, reddish brown, sandy box, and then packaging. And then we have now this one, which is interesting because Allure Homme, has had quite an iteration of flankers. Chanel is my humble opinion, and everything I say in this video is for entertainment purposes only, not rooted in truths or facts. Everything's a legend, just my opinion. Chanel has been very adamant to release a new male fragrance. I'm sure Olivier Polge is like, oh, why don't they let me release a male fragrance? I mean, ever since 2010, since Bleu de Chanel was released, we did not get another main targeted for men launch. But we did get flankers. And this is the funny thing about this one. Yes, this is a flanker, but also no, it is not. And what does that mean? Well, I mean, if you really want to look at it, this is... So Allure Homme comes out, then several years later, Allure Homme Sport comes out. That's the flanker of Allure Homme. Allure Homme is the OG. Then we have Allure Homme Sport, the flanker. And now in 2024, Chanel releases the flanker of a flanker. Like at this point, this is how far it's gone, how deep we've gone down the rabbit hole. Okay, so now we are no longer just releasing only flankers because we're scared of releasing new perfumes because it's a multi-billion-dollar industry and these ginormous brands do not want to risk a dime nowadays. So flankers are easier for them to sell than releasing brand new perfumes because people already love their OGs. So it's easier to cater to the people who already love the OGs by saying, hey, we got a flanker, slightly different from the original, so it's easier to sell it because we already have an audience, we already have loyal customer base for a certain perfume, so flankers are an easy sell for these brands. This is one of the reasons why perfumery is dying out nowadays, especially for these major releases, because everybody's just working with flankers. Well, now we're taking it up another notch by releasing a flanker of the OG. That's insanity. And subscribe to my channel while you're at it as we dive into this review. If you haven't already subscribed, thank you for everybody who has subscribed. Thumb up this video and let's get to it. Now, I have prompted my AI bubbles to generate this gorgeous background prompted by me and artistically directed by me. I hope you enjoy it. This is a field of patchouli growing amidst car parts, car engines, or a car engine, and other little spices and woods and citrusy accords. Why? Well, because Superleggera is a company that works with engines, not just car engines, but also they do stuff for watches and for other machinery. Matter of fact, we're going to get to Chanel working with Superleggera and why this collaboration came to be. All in due time, all in this video. But let's get to this citrusy, woodsy, musky accord. This video is being filmed live in front of a live virtual audience. I live stream several times a week on my main Super Dacob channel. Go subscribe to me over there as well. And hello to my co-chatters. Debbie in the chat says, oh, this reminds me of Christine, Stephen King's novel and gorgeous movie by John Carpenter. Well, Christine is a different car, but totally different car. But the red is very Christine. So now Chanel has something to say about this perfume. But let's get to the notes first. So we got citrus, mandarin, grapefruit in the opening, and aldehydes. And in fact, it's a very catered to men perfume in the opening. The opening accord is very expensive, luxurious barbershop without being oody, without being gourmandy, without being heavy, without being ambery whatsoever. This is a fresh patchouli, okay? Now, then we got mid-notes, woody notes, cedar wood. So you got that woody accord, which in this case plays a different type of note. It plays a different role. The character in this case is quite aquatic. So it's kind of like how your watery male fragrance, reminiscent of Acqua di Gio, but very Chanel. And the woods here are solid. Then we got white musk in the base notes, sandalwood, patchouli, and amber. And matter of fact, Olivier Polch says that this engine, you see the word game, the engine of this perfume has an extra boost of patchouli. And indeed, patchouli it is. All the yo, fragrance bros out there, yeah, you're all gonna start kind of screaming like, oh my God. First of all, shocked that a man can wear long hair and have some makeup on and still be a man. Oh my God, you poor little things living in caves, have no clue about the world or where your ancestors come from. They were probably wearing wigs longer than the bush that you didn't shave. But on another note, the interesting thing about this one, that patchouli, surprise, surprise, is the same exact patchouli note that we have in, drumroll please, Coco Mademoiselle. Coco Mademoiselle, I know you men out there. Oh, you must feel so vulnerable now. So hurt in your little male fragility. Because the base of this perfume comes from Coco Mademoiselle, which is targeted to women. Oh, how are you going to survive, you poor, poor, poor men? No, so sad, so sad. So that's the beauty of this perfume, though, that femininity. Yeah, Allure Homme Sport Superleggera has femininity in it. I know. What are you going to do? I guess you're going to leave a comment down below saying I should be unalived, I'm a freak, and how dare I even exist. Be my guest. I can really do well with the engagement. It does wonders for my algorithm, so you just keep at it. Keep hating, darling. Hate is the food of success on YouTube. Now, the citrusy accord, mixed with the sandalwood and the patchouli and the amber, is just delicious. This is the fascinating twist on this perfume. You see, it is a flanker of an original, but it's better than all the flankers, at least in my humble opinion, and I have tried them all. Okay, I do love my original Allure Homme, always have. This is a very, very beautiful flanca of a flanca, okay. It has its own energy. It is stronger than the others. And we've also smelled the Extreme. We've smelled Cologne. We've smelled Edition Blanche. They all have different nuances and facets, and they're all kind of intriguing and good in their own right. But this one adds another layer of sophistication, in my humble opinion, that just hits the spot for me, especially in the dry down. When that patchouli kicks in, it's Chanel's quality patchouli. So, perfumes know no gender. This one smells gorgeous on ladies as well, not just on men. Just FYI, try it out. Don't judge it too soon. Wait until it hits the dry down. Now, Chanel is claiming as of now that it is a limited edition release. with Superleggera, like a kind of, I don't want to say it's a collaboration with Superleggera. Superleggera is not a perfume house. Superleggera is a car manufacturing, engine manufacturing house, and they have been manufacturing for Chanel mechanisms for their watches. Not all of their watches, some of their watches. But let me read to you quickly a couple of notes about Superleggera. Superleggera, as per Wikipedia, says Italian for super light. And it's female, by the way. Non superleggero, superleggera, which is feminine, not masculine. Love a feminine designation to a masculine perfume. Oh, it's just delicious. Just delicious. But yes, of course, La Macchina Superleggera. I know it's female, and then the Italian's coming for me, but it's a female. No, yes, I know. I speak Italian. Thank you. So, Superleggera is a custom tube of alloy panel, automobile, coachwork, construction technology developed by Felice Bianchi Anderloni of Italian coach builder Carrozzeria Touring Superleggera. A separate cassis or chassis was still required. Touring licensed Charles Weyman's system of fabric-covered lightweight frames, which led to Touring's own Superleggera construction, patented by Carrozzeria Touring in 1936. So Coco was already successful by then, not working with them. Superleggera collaboration started way after her passing. The Superleggera system consists of a structural framework of small diameter steel tubes that conform to an automobile body's shape and are covered by thin alloy body panels that strengthen the framework. Aside from lightweight, the Superleggera construction system allows great design and manufacturing flexibility, enabling coach builders to quickly construct innovative body shapes. The Superleggera tubes were brazed to shape on a jig, and the panels were then fitted over this. The panels are only attached at their edges, mostly by swagging the panel edges over angle section strips of the steel framework. And this is like, we'll go. Okay, there you go. So IYKYK, so this is why we have this engine mixed with all of these spices and patchouli, because it's just so deliciously this. And I wanted the car to be red because the Superleggera logo is also red. Now, love the fact that this is not just your regular print on a bottle. It's not like Chanel said, oh, let's go cheap on this one. Let's just use the bottles we already have for Allure Homme Sport and then just make them a nuance darker. Actually, let me blend in a couple of photos. Teresa McGuire says, I'm going to have to get some for hubby. Terry, I highly recommend it for hubby. And for yourself too, Terry. This one is really gorgeous, Terry. So here's from Chanel's own website, a photo from their website where they kind of put together the different Allure Homme Sports in their different iterations. We have the Cologne, the Extreme, Eau Extreme. Now, interesting how Superleggera, when you check the prices, of course, Chanel ain't that stupid. So for the bottle, as you can see, they all have the same bottle. Some of them are completely like kind of covered in this metallic silver. Some of them are transparent. This one has this smoky added, you see it at a certain angle, especially here, that gray smoky mixed color mixed into that glass. So this is not your typical transparent glass. It has a smokiness to it. Very beautiful. But they went that extra mile to create this elevation. In fact, if you look, Superleggera is not just printed on the bottle, but it is indeed a three-dimensional protruding part of the bottle. It's part of the mold of the bottle. And if you touch it, you can feel how it kind of pops out. So they actually went that extra mile to create this added detail to the bottle, which requires new tooling for the bottle. And in fact, Chanel charges us more for this one. It's $172. Why? And it's an eau de parfum concentration, which you can see right down here. There you go, eau de parfum. So just like the Eau Extrême, which is also an eau de parfum, right here, this bottle, but the Eau Extrême costs you around about $20 less than this one. So Chanel is charging you for something that they claim is a limited edition, even though Chanel sales associates in Europe have a birdie has been chirping that this one is so loved by everyone that it's probably going to enter into their regular roster of perfumes. Not limited edition, but for now, officially, it's still limited edition. So we can only speculate, right? The packaging is this, what we're used to, classic Allure Homme box. It's only available in 100 ml for now. And the Superleggera embossing little bit is also protruding from the top. And then it has that beautiful red interior on the inside. Look at that. So at least this first edition, I mean, if they do another one, so even the cardboard holding your bottle inside is completely red. Don't we just love this color combo? I think it's so beautiful. And it kind of contrasts very much this opening citrus bergamot accord, which is a cool cologne, cool barbershop type of vibe, which is typical and classical for a silver, kind of a silver color. And then as we open it up inside, we have this gorgeous red, which is not just the logo color of the Superleggera brand, but it is also kind of the warmth and the passion inside this perfume, because as it hits its dry down and we do get to the sandalwood, to the amber, to the musks, and to the patchouli, as it dries down, we get to the hot core, even though we started cool. Now, speaking of the packaging, people who have been lovers of Chanel perfumes and people who know anything about perfumes in general would know that every perfume manufacturer uses batch codes and batch numbers to designate the batches produced, which, if you do a little bit of research, can tell you what date, year the perfumes were produced and what have you. So, Chanel has etched at the bottom here. You see it right there? It's not printed, it's etched in 0302. That is my batch code. That same batch code is also etched on all Chanel perfume bottles, usually and on the back bottom right here. So this is your batch code. You see 0302 right down there. There you have it. Here's another example, a Comet from the Les Exclusives range. We flip it in the back down here. We got etched in the batch code. This one is 9401. There you have it, right down here. Okay, so I am shocked to see people claiming that they know shit about perfumes, have been reviewing perfumes for decades. And then the Oompa Loompa opens up a perfume bottle from Chanel, looks at the back and says, oh, limited edition. This is the number of the bottle I got. Really? Okay, so no, this is not the number of the bottle you got, dear. This is the batch code. These bottles are not numbered. And you think to yourself, you've been reviewing perfumes for over a decade and you don't know this? How much other intel do you not know but claim to know? And how often have you been sharing misinformation with your viewers without them actually having a single clue at the extent of lack of knowledge that you actually do have? Shocking, really, really shocking. So, once again, this is a batch code number at the bottom, not a limited edition number, okay? These bottles are not numbered in terms of number 1, number 2 of 1,000, 3 of 1,000, 4 of 1,000, none of that. You're welcome. This one lingers on, okay? It is very, very nature-like, but technical. In fact, let me show you the next picture here, how Chanel portrays this particular bottle. You see, they are photographing it on their website as the bottle, again, the red, and Superleggera's own technical drawings, blueprints for cars, engines. They're kind of saying that, oh, okay, so this bottle is inspired, the perfume, not the bottle design, but the perfume is inspired by the concept of constructing these machines. And these machines don't have to be just cars, they can be watches as well. And indeed, watches they are. Let me show you how much Chanel charges for just one example of a Superleggera Chanel watch. Let me show you. Looky, looky, eggs and cookie. Monsieur Superleggera edition watch, and they have a few different versions of the Superleggera collaboration with Chanel, and this particular one is going to set you back a nifty $45,600 plus tax. This is a joke, okay, in my opinion. Why? Because Coco Chanel never in her life designed a watch, nor did she care. So, a brand coming out and designing watches to, milk their male customers for whatever they're worth, because Chanel mostly creates clothes for women. They're like, well, how can we make men spend a ton of money as well? Let's do this. Okay. To each their own. I'm not saying, ooh, what an ugly watch. Yeah, cute watch. Okay. 45,000? No. No, 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 no way, Jose. Never, never in a gazillion years. Never. Even if 45K were peanuts, if you're a billionaire, I would still be like, you're not going to steal my 46,000. Thank you. No, no, absolutely not. No way, shape, or form. Plus, I mean, the second you exit the store with this watch, it's not going to cost this much. This, in my humble opinion, only. But anyways, you can see, so Chanel has been working with Superleggera on other items as well throughout the years. And so this is kind of just a celebratory little item. And it also marks the first time that Chanel does a collaboration perfume. They've never done this before. So this is a first for Chanel to actually dedicate a perfume to one of the brands that they work with, or giving a subtitle or creating the flanker of a flanker, which is dedicated to a brand like Superleggera that does machinery for them. Isn't that interesting? So it's a first for Chanel, makes this one quite special. They do come with a limited edition pouch. If you got a good connection to your sales associates, when you purchase the bottle, they might give you a little tiny, kind of like a neoprene with a red zipper. The neoprene is your kind of beigey silver color, and then it has a red zipper to, keep your stuff in there. I don't know what, creams, lotions, potions, what have you, right? So, you can kind of put the stuff in there. But that little pouch was just given out for the first week or two as this thing was released. And now I'm not so sure if they're still available. But if you're going directly to a Chanel beauty boutique, you might want to, and you're purchasing one of these, you might kindly and gently want to ask the sales associate if they still have maybe a pouch left. Now, what does Chanel have to say? Let me go back to the second picture. So, Chanel says a distinctive new interpretation of Allure Homme Sport between intensity and levity. And then they say, very thick, limited edition. Then on their website, for $172 plus tax, you can get 100 ml or 3.4 fluid ounces of this bottle. The product description on the Chanel website states, a fresh, woody, and ambery interpretation of Allure Homme Sport, a work of precision and balance blended to perfection. I can agree on the perfection. This thing is so well balanced. It's smooth, okay? This thing runs smooth like a fine engine. A contrast between intensity and levity, a symbol of the allure of a free-spirited man who strives for the ultimate performance, and again they repeat, limited edition. Sleek and compact with a tapered shape, the iconic Allure Homme Sport bottle has been reimagined using clear smoked glass, which is what I kept telling you looks like a gray tone, gray finish. They call it, what do they call it? Smoked glass. Clear smoked glass. The emblematic Superleggera signature, a name that represents excellence and distinction, is embossed in red lettering on the facade, adding a sporty touch. As for the composition, they state the lively fruitiness of a grapefruit accord combines with vibrant, full-bodied notes, creating density and depth. A powerful musk gives the fragrance a distinctive boldness. That's what they have to say about their own product on their own website. Now, before the launch, they were hinting at this perfume on the Chanel website, like they were teasing us with it, but you couldn't still purchase it. While they were teasing us with it, they had a slightly different description of the perfume, which stated that Allure Homme Sport Superleggera by Chanel is a limited edition, again, fragrance inspired by the Italian concept of Superleggera, which emphasizes lightness and power. This scent is a rethinking of the classic Allure Homme Sport, featuring a lighter mix of woods, less amber, and an engine of patchouli. You see, in the current description of the perfume on their website, they took away any big conversation about Superleggera and what Superleggera stands for. But in their pre-launch description, they talked about Superleggera, and they're kind of hinting at, look, our version of the engine that Superleggera would make in this perfume would be the patchouli, which they call the engine of patchouli. The Superleggera means super light in Italian and was a nod to the innovative construction technique used by Carrozzeria Touring of Milan. This technique involved wrapping a lightweight aluminum body over a steel frame, resulting in both very light and structurally sound construction of a car. People are loving this perfume. The reviews are all positive. I agree with them. I mean, it's a beautiful perfume. Is it groundbreaking? No, it's by no means groundbreaking, okay? There's nothing we haven't smelled before in here. But whatever we're smelling in here is really good quality, okay? So you got top-notch ingredients. It really feels good on the skin. It takes some getting used to, that opening citrusy wannabe mask for mask type of note, you know? It's a little bit abrasive in the opening. It's like really trying to prove to you that it's for men. Like, don't worry, all you delicate men out there. If you wear this, nobody's going to think you're gay. Don't worry, okay? Oh, but they will. Once the patchouli hits and you start smelling of Coco Mademoiselle, uh-oh, are you in for a big surprise? A lot of you big masculine men might just be popping out of the closet once you start wearing this one. Oh, the dangers, the risks. Beware, beware. Oh, grab that scare. Stop and stare. Stare down. The hair, the mare. When you wear Superleggera, you might just be that homo. Yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry for you. Anyway, for those of us who are totally fine being out of the closet, this is a doozy of a perfume. It's a doozy of a perfume. Super fun and also serious in a way, because it delivers balance, professional balance from a perfumer who knows what he's doing. And also, he delivers knowledge. He delivers knowledge on so many different layers of perfume artistry, you know. I mean, similar, because right before we saw Allure Homme Sport Superleggera, the flanker of the OG release, right before that, we had the release of Comet. And it's so fascinating how these two were planned to be released, like, you know, one after the other, just a couple of months apart. But in between these two, there was just another release, which was the rebottling of Chanel No. 5 L'Eau, which we have here in that pebble bottle. Let me show you. So this is kind of all we got from Chanel this year thus far. There's another kind of limited edition bottle repackaging planned for Christmas, but we'll talk about that later for the holiday season. So this is basically what we got, okay? So we got Comet, we got the Pebble, which is not a reformulation of L'Eau No. 5. It's just new packaging. And then we got the flank of the OG. So now, interesting that what we get here is also a revisitation of a fragrance. Now, you know, it's unisex, okay? Somebody might say it's very powdery because of the heliotrope and the iris and the orris root and the musks. It kind of veers towards a floral accord and then powdery accord, makeup-y accord. But this is very much unisex. And Olivier Polge is so sophisticated. He's creating the future of Chanel perfumes, you guys. He's really good at it. The more he works for them and the more he kind of sets into his own and delivers stuff. So this thing here is not your cliche male fragrance, okay? This has fragility in it. I know. It has fragility, yeah. Hmm. It does. And that fragility is motherly. It's quite feminine. So, oops. I guess I just waited a little bit longer, you know. I got this perfume right when it got launched, but I thought to myself, let those men buy it first. You know, let them not see a review by this creature with long hair and makeup. No, let them buy it first, let them feel safe, and then let's tell them what they actually bought. Fun. Well, I hope you all have fun on your dates, you know, whether it be in or outside of the closet. I know that I'll be wearing this engine of a perfume with its Coco Mademoiselle DNA patchouli and the same musks which we smell in Comet, by the way. I will be wearing this one with pride and joy. All of the colors of the rainbow. Yes. Partially just to enjoy seeing your faces as you smell it, and also enjoy reading the comments underneath this video. So for those of you who actually do love perfumes for the sake of really loving perfumes, and for those of you who review perfumes and know a thing or two about perfumes and Chanel and actually do not think that this is a limited edition number back here, I say congratulations. You have purchased a wonderful fragrance. I adore it. By the way, hashtag not sponsored. And for all the rest of you out there, I don't know. Who's going to tell them? Love you loads. Leave your comments, thoughts, and prayers down below. And until next time, never forget to never give up on fragrant love. Bye.